a little bit about Florida. But then Stan and I were pretty settled in Florida. We had friends. We had a church that we went to. We were excited about our ministry. We had seen 4 Behold Your Gods come and go out of Florida. We were not expecting a change, and suddenly we were asked if we would consider going back to Los Angeles. And so around October of, I have to get my years straight here now, of 2006, we were asked if we would go back to Los Angeles. You see, Tuvia, who had been our supervisor and who had led the Los Angeles branch for almost 18 years, his position had changed, and he's still with Jews for Jesus, but now he's in charge of our education department with graduate school, and his emphasis is on witnessing to interfaith couples, those who one spouse is Jewish and one is Gentile, and they're trying to grapple with how they can have a shared faith. And so his emphasis is to share Jesus with those couples. So we were asked if we would come to LA. So it took us 24 hours to say yes, because we could only think of 2 reasons to say no. We liked our house. It was our first house. But we said, that's not good enough. This isn't our permanent home. If God wants us to move on, we will. And the other reason was we liked our friends, and we didn't want to say goodbye. But God knows that when you're a missionary, He sometimes calls us to do things that are hard, but we're willing, because in Jews for Jesus, we sign an agreement when we come on staff, and we say that we're willing to go anywhere at any time and live the life of an apostle. And so we were happy to go back to Los Angeles because we'd been there before, and we knew God was preparing the way. In Los Angeles, just to give you a little picture, there are 450,000 Jewish people in the metropolitan Los Angeles area. Now, of those 450,000, approximately 30,000 are Russian Jews, and approximately another 30,000 are Israelis. So we have a lot of different Jewish people to talk with. Some of them are in the entertainment industry, involved with movie making. Some of them are in the aerospace industry, and in all different walks of life. The area in which Stan and I live in is part of Los Angeles County, but it's called the San Fernando Valley. And the city we live in is called Tarzana, which is named after Tarzan, because the author of Tarzan lived in the area we live in, and so it was named Tarzana. But it's far from a jungle. I mean, okay, maybe in some ways when you drive on the freeways, you might call it a jungle. But when I say it's far from a jungle, we live in a very Persian neighborhood. If you walk down the main drag near where we live, it's called Ventura Boulevard. There's many Persian and Mideastern restaurants. There are Persian synagogues. And so it's a real diverse area. And even my next door neighbor, Harry, is a Persian Jew. And there are numerous people in our townhouse complex that are from a Jewish background and others from a Russian background, and just quite a mixture. And one of the fun ways that I got to meet all of my neighbors just about was when Carrie, she's 4, and her school decided to have a candy drive. And so they assigned every child so many boxes of candy to sell. So I thought at first, oh no, I have to go door to door. I did that when I was a kid. And then I thought, you know what? This is a great opportunity to meet my neighbors. So I, with pen and paper, wrote down every number of all the people who opened their doors. And after they closed their door after we either made a sale or they said no thank you, and I was able to write their names down beside the numbers. So now I know who most of my neighbors are, and there's over 20 units, over 20 townhouses where I live. So I thought, God, you're really good. You have a way of helping us to meet people we'd never otherwise meet.